What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast presented by Omaha Steaks. Hanging out with you guys on a Friday night. You got Josh, Justin, John, and we got Kenny Mack joining us from across the border up north. How
Yeah,
is
baby. Let's
everybody
go,
doing?
doggies.
Hell yeah.
All right, I like the energy. So tonight, as we let the chat fill up and everything here on YouTube, we are going to hit our reactions quick about the trade deadline coming to pass. You know, everybody's freaking out about the Browns not trading for Jacoby Brissett. And, you know, we did trade away a starter on offense. Donovan Peoples-Jones finds his way to Detroit. So we're going to do all that. But before and then obviously we're going to get into the Cardinals preview. I just want to make sure that we are actually live because I'm watching on my screen over here and I do not see us popping up on YouTube.
I
there it
see
is.
on my
There
phone,
it
yep.
is. Okay.
Yep.
No, we are good. So, yeah, we're going to dive into the Sunday matchup against the Cardinals. We might have our quarterback back, I guess so. And we don't know if the Cardinals will or not. They got a plane ride to figure it out. So, before we dive into all that, check us out on socials, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Make sure you guys on YouTube here, please like this video. If you're in the chat right now, if you're hanging out, drop us a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We just got over 8,000, and we are, you know what, forget about 9,000. We're trying to hit 10,000. That's what we're rolling to right now. So
Let's do it, man.
yeah, that's right. So help us out there. If you're listening
They're
on
saying
Apple,
we're not live.
What's that?
Luke's saying we're not live.
Well, I see it now. So we are just going to
Okay.
roll for a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we got
Okay.
some technical issues going on, but either way, last but not least, if you guys want to hang out with us during the games in our Discord channel, make sure you guys go to jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. We do an extra after hours episode every week where, you know, we've actually gone live in the Discord talking to everybody. You guys actually get to come onto the show. We interact with you. We talk about the game. We talk really whatever you guys want to talk about. During the off season, we just pull topics from you guys. It gets kind of unhinged at times, which is a ton of fun. But definitely during the season, you want to be in there during the game because if no one wants to watch Browns games by themselves. So, you know, if you're don't have a group of friends to watch the game with, or you're traveling or whatever it is, you can always jump in the Discord and you are with a huge community of diehard Browns fans every Sunday. So jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. All right, guys, let's talk about real quick the trade deadline on Tuesday went. There was a whole lot of buildup. You know, we talked a lot about what are the Browns going to do? What kind of pieces are we going to add? We need to go get a quarterback. We cannot keep playing P.J. Walker, yada, yada, yada. 4 o'clock went. Nothing was added. One guy was gone. A lot of people online freaking out that we did not give away the farm for Jacoby Brissett. What do you guys think? Let's hear it.
I guess
Go ahead, Kenny. Go for it, bud.
I don't know what to make of the offense, so I don't know how you make a trade, right? Like if you're going to invest capital into the team, what do you do when you don't know what you have? I mean, we know what we have in PJ Walker, we know what we have in DTR, and you'd want to get somebody to back up Deshaun, but is Deshaun going to play? It's the whole thing about this shoulder injury. It's super tough across the board on receiver. Again, we don't know what we have because we're last in the NFL in passing yardage. So is someone going to come up or is someone going to do anything? Is Deshaun actually going to show? So with all these questions, I don't know what you really do. Pierre Strong looks good. So does Ford and Hunt. So everybody looks kind of good. So unless you're going to get like a bona fide elite player, which we don't really have the capital for, I don't know what you do.
I agree with that, man. And then, like, just from what I've read about what Washington wanted for Jacoby, they wanted a day 2 pick. So are we really thinking that we were going to give up a second or a third round pick for a guy that now, if Watson comes out and he is healthy and he's good, then we just squandered a second or third round pick for nothing. And then, I think that the rumors with maybe do we go after Derrick Henry, and even I heard Terry McLaurin getting floated around. I don't even know if that was really necessarily ever going to materialize. If Washington was going to sell us Jacoby and Terry, I think we were going to give up a lot. Would have been awesome to get those guys. Yes, Terry McLaurin's a stud. I'd love to have Terry McLaurin, especially, you look at our wide receivers, we have 1 touchdown on the year. from wide receivers, whether that's quarterback play or whatever's going on. But I'm optimistic moving forward. If Watson is healthy and he's not just trying to be a leader and go out there and maybe play not 100%, I'm fine with them doing it. And then as long as with GPJ, he was in the last year of his contract. He kind of just been a no-show all year for us. I mean, I know he's a starter, but are we really upset that he got traded away? I know it's a 6th-round pick and it's not a lot of return, but what were we really was there a plan for him moving forward? I mean, it sure wasn't looking like it to this point.
I think the plan was not to re-sign him, and we got back the capital that we invested in him.
True.
Period.
Yep. And then flip it. Or if they flip that pick, into something, you've seen what they've done with 5th-round picks, so I'm okay with it. Is it disappointing? I'm sure for fans. Yeah. But I think that they like the team that they've built. They just are missing the most important position in the NFL, which is the quarterback right now. If we get that back, we have a defense that I think is solid enough to like make a run at the playoffs. And then if we have competent quarterback play, he should be able to elevate these other guys. There's a real chance that, we don't need to make a move, especially if we're going to have to give up a 2nd or a 3rd for a guy that we don't even know if we're going to play this week.
Exactly. That was the thing with Jacoby. I mean, Andrew Berry obviously did his due diligence, which I was saying to a lot of people. I mean, he made the phone call. He touched base with Washington. It's not like he was sitting on his hands doing nothing. But, I mean, what are you going to do? When Washington comes back and says, we want a day 2 pick for this backup quarterback, it's like, oh, come on, man. Like, we can't be giving up that kind of capital for yet another quarterback whenever he's not going to be our starter long term. As soon as Watson is healthy and ready to go, he's immediately inserted into the lineup. He's the guy. And the fact that we didn't push a little harder to try to get somebody else in here to start over PJ Walker told me they were confident that Watson was not too far away from returning, or at least that was my optimistic viewpoint on it. And then today we get the news that, and we'll talk about it here in the preview, but here he is. Watson's going to start. Now, will it be 5 passes and back out again and PJ takes over the rest of the game? We'll see. But at least he has, this is the first time since week 3 he's logged a full week of practice. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So far, no reported hangups on that shoulder, and they've already announced him as the starter. So I think he's not going into the weekend questionable, which is huge in my opinion.
I got a question for you though. If we would have got Brissett, do you think we would have traded DPJ? Because I think DPJ got most of his yards with Brissett in the lineup and not Watson.
Yeah, I think he was on the move personally. I think we were going to ship him really no matter what. Everyone said he wasn't coming back. So I think while we could get something for him, I think we just had to do it.
I think we had to do it. I think, and the thing is, we all love DPJ, and he was having a great career in Cleveland. He came out last year and put up, was it almost 900 yards? He was just shy of 900, I think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty good playing with a backup quarterback all season. You're not the number 1 wide receiver on the team. And, he had a great year, and we were all projecting him to have a massive year this year with a healthy Deshaun. Well, we haven't had a healthy Deshaun. And as we've seen, wide receivers really aren't incorporated in this offense very much past Cooper and Moore. It's those 2 guys, and then it screens to the tight ends, running backs getting involved, and then, a little bit of trickery with a guy like Goodwin. But that's really it. So, even when Kevin comes out and says, well, now we've got, more opportunities for Cedric Tillman, we'll see. I really don't know how many more opportunities there are for wide receivers right now, but, I'm excited for Cedric Tillman too. He was the 3rd-round pick. We all knew when they drafted him that he was the DPJ replacement anyway. So,
yeah. Well, that makes 100% sense.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts on the trade deadline? There really weren't any big splash play. You heard all the Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Derrick Henry, all these, Dalvin Cook, big names on offense, these skill guys. Nobody got moved. A couple guys on defense, Sweat and Chase from the Commanders. But Chase Young, I mean, honestly, if you go look at his stats, he really hasn't produced much in his short career. He hasn't been on the field much in his short career.
I think this is the best year he's had in his career so far.
Yep.
And for the 49ers, it's a steal. I mean, they're using a comp pick basically for Ryan going to Houston as the head coach. And then if he leaves at the end of the year, they just get the pick back anyway. So, I mean, there's no risk involved for him. And then to pair him up with some of those guys that are out there on that line, Bosa, I
Yeah.
mean, it could be crazy.
Hey,
They could have a deadly defense.
yeah, and I've seen a lot of Browns fans online saying, kind of criticizing the Browns, like that's all they had to give up to get Chase Young. Why didn't we do that? Why didn't we do that? Well, who's to say we didn't call and they just didn't want to deal with us? Or let's just remember that the rest of the league had to sit around and say the Browns just got Zadarius Smith for a 5th-round pick and added him to that defensive line. You know what I mean? So usually we've been this team recently who gets these high-profile guys for almost next to nothing. So.
And who are you going to give less playing time? Like, even Alex Wright's getting a higher pressure rate, right? Like, these guys are developing. So do you want to stagnate that? You want to lose a 3rd-round pick for a half a year? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
I totally agree.
Right.
Ara in the chat says we can't pay Young. That's another thing too. Yeah. So if you trade for him, you give up draft capital to get him. You're gonna do after this season if you want to make that. Yeah, it's a rental. If you don't want it to just be a rental, you got to pay the guy.
And I like what we have. Another guy too, Obo. I've been super impressed with everything he's done.
Yes.
So I completely agree with Kenny there. I'm fine, completely fine with it.
Okay.
I think maybe I might go for linebacker depth. That's the only thing, or some O-line depth. But anybody like that we could get, we'd have to pay. So it's a half-year rental because we got to roll over all this money to keep Deshaun. So the plan's Deshaun and get him right.
Jim Kogar here in the chat says Smith isn't doing much to help much. I don't know if I necessarily agree. I don't know if his impact is showing up on the box score, on the stat sheet.
I agree.
But man, this guy, if you watch the games, he's in the backfield. He's pressuring quarterbacks like crazy. He's running down, backs in the backfield. He's doing stuff. He's definitely contributing.
Yeah, I think the line is on Z-Dog there. Zadarius Smith he's got close to the pressures that Miles has, but he just hasn't got home. Eventually he's going to get home, and maybe it's this week against the Cardinals.
Yeah, and you've seen these quarterbacks that go against us start to get the ball out real quick. We don't have a whole lot. Miles doesn't have a ton of sacks this year. I know he's up, in the top, whatever, but compared to what we were expecting and to what could be based on the pressure rate, he's not hitting home either the way he should be.
I think he's at, 8.5?
I think so.
8. I'm pretty impressed with 8.5.
No, I'm not saying
he's on pace to. Yeah.
Don't get what I'm not saying it, but I'm saying
no. I know.
As high as his pass rush win rate is, and I believe he's leading the league by quite a bit in that category. Right. He's just not hitting home as much as he should be, but that's because by the time he gets there, usually quarterback's like, nope, ball's gone.
Yep.
I think Smith it's more of an impact thing. As far it's not showing itself on the stat line. It's not showing up as sacks and tackles for loss and stuff like that. But I think he's a contributing member of that defense, and his impact is just not translated into sacks yet.
Right. Yeah, no, man, you hit the nail on the head. And basically, I'm going to do a shameless plug here. If you go one of the Throwback Thursday episodes I did, I basically said that Jim Schwartz's defense, they only send defensive tackles and safeties to the Pro Bowl. They don't send defensive ends because they get a lot of pressures, but not a lot of sacks. And sacks get you in the Pro Bowl. And same with cornerbacks. Corners is what I meant to say. They don't send a lot of corners either because they don't get a lot of interceptions because quarterbacks are throwing the ball in the dirt or they're dumping it off to backs.
That's right, Kenny. You should go back and look at that Throwback Thursday Kenny did before the season because it does give you some insight to Jim Schwartz's defense and what we've honestly seen. Kenny, you were right about all that stuff.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
You should watch all of them because they're very entertaining.
They are really good. All right, well, we will move on from the trade deadline talk, but before we do, Browns fans in Ohio, now we have a new promo from Caesars Sportsbook. They're running a new sign-up offer that you don't want to miss. New customers get their first bet on Caesars up to $1,000 by using our code DAWGS1000. That's DAWGS1000 during sign-up. Not only will your first bet be covered, but you'll also be directly supporting the show. So if you haven't joined Caesars Sportsbook yet, now is the perfect time to make your move. Just remember, enter our code DAWGS1000 during sign-up and place your first bet. That's DAWGS1000. Offer is only available for new customers who are 21 and older and physically present in Ohio. Please gamble responsibly. If you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Check the episode description for the full terms of the offer to see if you qualify. Okay, we got a game coming up Sunday, so let's talk about it. The Arizona Cardinals are coming in, and we got us a 1 o'clock kickoff. So where you guys want to start with this game?
Well, you know where I'd want to start is my first game was in Cleveland Browns or in First Energy Stadium. I saw the Cardinals and the Browns, and the Browns won 44-10. And if that
Okay.
happens, I'll be doing cartwheels. So let's put that out there.
That would be
Okay.
nice. Well, here, let's start with that, because if we win 44-10, a lot of those points have to come somehow through our quarterback position leading the way. And right now, it's Deshaun Watson for the first time. I mean, really since week 3, because that game against the Colts did not last very long, and he didn't look right. So, what do you guys think? Is he going to be ready?
I saw a video on from I think Cleveland.com, and it was just him throwing around. It didn't show much. It's hard to say. Other than the only thing I can tell you is Nathan Zagura, because I listen to CBD every day. He said that he's got zip on the ball, and I don't think he's going to lie. So he must have some zip on it.
Well, I mean, I don't think that they would be they would not have progressed him from Wednesday to Friday, 3 straight practices, if he wasn't shown zip to begin with. And 2,
True.
they would not have already announced him as the starter. They would have said, well, he logged, full practices this week. He's questionable heading into the weekend. We'll make a decision on Sunday. That's what they did before. This time it was none of that crap. It was, nope, he's playing.
I was afraid going into this game because I feel like there was so much uncertainty on both sides of the ball at quarterback. We didn't know who the starting quarterback for either team was going to be.
Right.
And at least now we know who our starting quarterback's going to be. I'm very hopeful that he's 100%. And I think that they don't put him out there if there's a risk for re-aggravation of this injury. So for me, I'm expecting a little bit of rust, but I can't see. I'm worried if they go out there and they throw it in the dirt and it's the same stuff over and over again. I'm a little bit nervous. So I'm hoping that there's a game script where, you saw the screen game open up in this past game and it was very successful. Let's utilize that. Let's throw some little slants, maybe some dump offs to the running back. We see the running backs always open when we break down these film plays and stuff like that. I hope that they screen the game just for what we got going on. If they start the game and it's a 60-yard bomb down the sideline, I'm going to be like, oh, and it's not even close. I'm going to be very nervous. I hope that, and this isn't a defense up front. They're okay, but their secondary is not very good. They have one guy in the back, and that's Budda Baker, and he's great. Budda Baker is great. No, you won't hear a bad thing out of me about him, but they're a little suspect. So let's kind of just test him a little bit. I also, a big part of his game is the run game. I don't want him just taking off and lowering the shoulder and stuff like that.
No, God, no.
If it's designed, that's great, but don't put him at a risk where we're in the same situation next week and we're going, oh Jesus, are we going with PJ Walker? Are we going with DTR? Are we going with banged up Deshaun? Is he going to be okay? But I'm hoping that this was a decision across all levels. I hope it was Andrew Berry, medical personnel, coach, Deshaun. I hope that everybody's on the same page. I hope this isn't Deshaun just saying, hey, I'm good to go again, because we saw that he admitted basically he wasn't ready to go and he kind of just wanted to be a leader and be out there with his guys. So that's where my head's at with it.
I'll push back on you a little bit when you said that if he's run the ball, if it's designed, okay. No, if
running at all.
No, dude, are you kidding me? If there's one designed run for Deshaun Watson in this game, I am going to start questioning Kevin Stefanski vocally. Like, dude, come on, this guy just got off the shoulder injury. Do not run him, please.
And the thing that's good too is we have this trio of running backs right now that I think is starting to break through and show that that we can lean on them. Pierre Strong is awesome. Ford, kind of suspect sometimes, but he can be explosive. Kareem Hunt just kind of bullies you when it's goal line work, and even just if you need a couple yards, he can get that done for you. Mm-hmm. I think that we lean on that heavily in this game. I hope. I don't want to see a 50-yard attempt or 50 attempts from Deshaun Watson in this game. I'm very okay with just leaning on the run game and just pounding it down their throats.
Well, and how about DJK Bex here on YouTube says we need all caps to get Njoku more involved.
Yes, please.
Man, they've missed him a ton. That's a great point, man. at the Indy game when I was there, like they missed him a ton of times. But I mean, again, we're talking about PJ Walker,
Right.
so there's no sense in droning on about that. But yeah, get him going, man. That guy's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every
Agreed.
time he gets the ball, I mean, he does something. I mean, he's a load to bring down. He's fast. He's athletic. He can shift. He can run guys over. He's got a nasty stiff arm. It's just, I don't know why. I don't know. Like you said, I know we've been missing him a lot on some throws and things like that. Hopefully, we just get him incorporated more with Deshaun, some more accurate passes, get him, get it out quick and on time. That's another thing too. I don't want to see Deshaun back there holding the ball for 3+ seconds like he, his average. I mean, it is his career average, but dude, don't take hits. I would love to not see any sacks. I want to see the ball out quick. And like you said, Justin, a lot of run. Let's just run the ball because we talked about Pierre Strong should honestly be the starting running back. Kareem Hunt stays in his role because he's so good at it. His role is set, and he does it well. And then Jerome Ford can come in and just kind of be your home run hitter, to spell those guys. And you never know what you're going to get. He can break off a big run. He's just not very efficient. Well, I don't think he should be the starter anymore.
He just can't break tackles. Like I just find Pierce.
No, and he runs into guys too much. He doesn't see the run or
his vision's poor.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, I like it. Strong between the 20s, and then you get Hunt on the goal line or third down because he's probably the best blocker at this point, right? And then I like sprinkle in Ford. Great idea.
Yep, sort of like what Justin was alluding to. I mean, I just kind of wrote down some numbers. The Arizona Cardinals have the 7th worst ranked defense in the NFL right now. They allow 355 total yards a game, 225 passing, and 130 rush. So opportunities are there for us to gain some yards in this one. I did hear something. Did you guys hear about the weather?
Supposed to be nice. 61 and breezy.
Oh, okay.
So
last I heard it was supposed to be rainy and very windy.
Yeah. Well, that sounds exactly like how the stadium weather is. If it says it's not going to rain, it's going to rain. If it says it's going to be beautiful and 100 degrees outside, it'll probably snow. So can't wait. Well, I'll wear a poncho, a winter jacket, and some shorts.
I'll look up a weather report here real quick. And then here, let me just kick this off and you guys can discuss it while I look that up. But I posted a poll here on YouTube before we started. I said, will the Browns offense turn the ball over on Sunday? 33% of the chat says no, which we haven't done that yet this season. 47%, almost half, say yes, but just once. And 19% right now are saying yes 2 or more times yet again. So you guys want to kind of talk about the turnover thing? I just wrote down where our differential is second worst in the NFL at -7, and we lead the league in turnovers on offense with 17, 11 picks, and 6 fumbles. So,
I'll kick this off real quick. I just want to say thank you to our fans, like the fans of our show, because on any other show, it would be 100% yes, 2 times at least. We suck. Fire Stefanski. So you guys are so great, and we all love you. Appreciate the optimism.
Well said, John.
Yes. Can we not turn the ball over though? Can we try to? I know that they say I watch the press conferences and they're like, we preach ball security. We preach ball security. Van Pelt was on there the other day and he's like, we preach it all the time, every day. And he's like, it just kind of seems to be an issue. He's like, I've been on teams where we don't preach about it at all and we don't turn the ball over. So I don't understand.
Well, if they're preaching about it every day, they might want to add like a second, maybe even a third service for these guys to come hear the sermon because they're not getting it.
Now, a lot of those turnovers recently have been from PJ Walker and DTR. So I'm hoping that there's a little bit more. I mean, it's our starting quarterback. It's our QB1. There's a big gap from those guys to this guy.
Last time he was on the field, he almost threw 2 picks. He threw one, almost threw 2. So, and that was a shoulder thing. That was a shoulder thing. I firmly believe that. But, he was the one turning the ball over before those guys took over, unfortunately.
I don't think you go from 0 to 100. I participated in the poll and I put there's going to be 1. Let's just get to 1. And then we'll worry about 0 next week, okay? I've seen 3 too many times this year. Let's just get to 1. If we go to 0, fantastic. Bring that into the Ravens game.
Win the turnover battle.
Yeah, there you go.
Just win it.
Justin,
it doesn't have to be 0.
Justin, you're your Caesar Sportsbook weather forecast for the day will be picturesque fall day for this game. Temperature will be between 53 and 59 with 24% chance of rain, which means it's going to pour the whole time.
Yep. Can't wait.
Weather description, breezy with variable clouds, 15 miles per hour winds.
Well,
Man,
I'll make sure that I
this.
bring, I'll bring my poncho.
You always do.
I always do.
All right. Well, so turnovers. Yeah, I didn't see if anybody in the chat was chiming in about that, but it's tough for me to predict a game without any turnovers because, like you said, haven't seen one yet. So I would probably go the lesser optimistic route and say, yes, we're going to turn over, but just once. I think we cut it down a little bit, and maybe it's a fumble this time. Maybe no picks. Maybe, Ford does another fumble or something, because who knows? But my goodness, if we get to 0, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, it really would.
Oh, Andrew Jackson says, how many did we have that got overturned? Yeah, we should have had.
That's fair.
Just off the top of my head, PJ Walker's fumble at the end of the Colts game. I think he had another pick in that game that got called back. Watson had the other pick called back. We've had quite a few. We had picks dropped last week. Picks dropped against the 49ers. It's been rough. We have been.
Blake, we're listening, buddy. We love you. I thought your comments were super funny.
I agree.
Where's Blake at?
He just logged into our account and started leaving comments. And
oh,
I had to pull my monitor over. Now I can see them. So
yeah, good stuff though.
Yep.
He just wanted to know why nobody was listening to him, and I felt bad. I don't know why I would ever feel bad for him, but
I don't know either. I don't know. He has no pity. So the last I heard, and if you guys have heard something different since we started the show or whatever, chime in, let us know. But last I heard, Jonathan Gannon, the head coach for the Cardinals, said that he's going to make the final decision on who's going to start the game at quarterback for them between their, 5th-round rookie Clayton Tune, 4th or 5th, I can't remember, and Kyler Murray, who's not played since he tore his ACL last season, and said something like, I'll make the decision on the plane ride.
That is what I saw. That's the update that I got. They're going to decide today.
Like
they
know who's starting.
Yeah, I'd be, I mean, maybe they don't, but it's kind of dysfunctional if they don't. I think, so I kind of threw this out at a couple people. Kyler Murray coming off rusty, I would be more worried about him only because of the fact that so far this year, when we've had to face like running quarterbacks like Minshew, Lamar, it has not gone our way. I know the game script was goofy for the Baltimore game, but the Colts game, Minshew gashed us up on it with legs. He literally, especially in the red zone, Lamar did the same thing. It was like the Red Sea parted on that 10-yard run for Lamar. So I hear people say, Kyler's lousy. He doesn't study film. I do not want to face him on Sunday. I do not want to deal with that. I would rather go against a 5th-round rookie and let the defense just go to work and just make him completely uncomfortable back there. Kyler Murray might be rusty. He's at least has NFL experience, and when he was doing well, he was doing really, really well.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, man. I think 5th-round rookie, why not? That's a no-brainer. I totally agree.
5th-round rookie in his first ever start.
Yeah, we just saw that, didn't we?
What
was it?
We saw a 5th-round rookie in his first ever start, or maybe it was a 4th-round rookie. DTR.
Yeah, it was ours. Yeah. It was bad.
So that's what that looks like.
What were you saying, Kenny?
Oh, I was just talking about Kyler Murray's had our number. Like, I don't want to see him either.
Yeah,
For whatever reason, we can't sack him. He just gets out of sacks with us for some reason. Now, if you're the Cardinals, though, or you're looking at the Browns defense, we are number 1. And you're looking at, like, right now, it's their franchise quarterback. You want to put him out in Cleveland on the road in a hostile environment. And I don't know, maybe he's playing video games all week. Who knows, right? Is he going to be ready? Is his knee going to be ready? Do you want him to run that much? Because he will be running against our defense. I don't think it's a good business decision for them. And they want to see what they have in Tune, because that's why they drafted him. Because to be honest with you, I thought we were going to draft Tune. You
Yeah,
know?
he was one of the guys that was in the running with DTR. I'm with you. I think that if I'm Arizona, this is all just this stupid gamesmanship stuff. Like, dude, they're not rolling Kyler Murray out here in his first game back after an ACL injury. He hasn't played a lick of NFL live action football. We saw what happened to Deshaun Watson last year coming back cold in mid-season. It ain't pretty for guys. And you're going to roll him out against the best defense in the league. Myles Garrett, Darius Smith, Tomlinson, Obo, all these guys. No, there's no way. They've got Atlanta next week. They're 1-7. Why would they start this guy?
Yeah, that's where I was going, Josh. They're 1-7. What? I mean, I guess if they want to see what they have in him, is he their future quarterback? I mean, they paid him.
Sure, I get that.
Under a different coaching staff as their franchise guy. But, you're hearing the same thing about Tune, that they want to see what they have in this kid. So I personally believe, I think that he'll be active. I think that maybe they even will have a couple packages for him, but I would be shocked if they just started him Sunday. I mean, it's good gamemanship as far as you have to plan for two completely different quarterbacks. I mean, it makes sense, but I think that you start the rookie. I think that that's what they'll do. I mean, it's a very risky move if they throw him out there.
The Browns, basically what they need to do in this game is they need to stop the run first, because the Arizona Cardinals are number one in the league, not in rushing, but in plays over 20 yards rushing. And then they're number 4 in the league in plays over 10 yards, right? So we can't get gashed. And unfortunately, what we've seen in the last 2 weeks is our defense getting gashed. Now, from what I've seen, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong and correct me in the comments, but it all comes up either Jordan Elliott's side, and he's been playing amazing, or it comes Shelby Harris's side, is what I've seen. I don't think a lot of people are gashing Tomlinson's side or Za'Darius or Miles. It's just that specific area where I've seen it. Now, I could be wrong, but that has to shore up real fast.
So about the running game, they have James Conner on IR. He's going to probably come back next week. They're saying he's healthy and ready to go, but he went on IR. So this is his 4th game out. He should come back next week. They ruled out Emicardo for this week. So he's out. They signed Tony Jones to their active roster. So it should be some form of Keontae Ingram and Tony Jones.
Yep.
As their running backs.
News to me. Okay.
So for me, I'm not as worried about the rushing. If it was James Conner's electric. I like James Conner a lot. I think he's a great back. He's won me many fantasy championships just on consistency. But I think that I'm not as worried about that. And the nice thing is, if they start the rookie, I'm not really worried about anything. I don't want to sound crazy. This is a game we should win.
Oh, absolutely. If we lose this game, this is one where you walk into it as a fan base and you say, I 100% expect my team to win this game. Like,
yes,
really,
in our city, yes.
Yeah, even if it was PJ Walker, I'd be saying the same thing. Like, I 100% expect this team to win this game. Like, this is a team you beat. You beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, and this is definitely one of them. And going back to the running back thing, like you said, if they start the rookie at quarterback, they're going to lean heavier on that run game, I would imagine. And Keontae Ingram is averaging 2.7 yards a carry. He is abysmal as a running back. It's not very good, and that's going to be their lead guy. I feel very confident that our defense can bottle him up. Michael Wilson, their rookie, kind of their number 2 receiver behind Marquise Brown. Yes. He's questionable heading into the weekend. He might not play.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, Marquise Brown can kind of be like a Tyler Lockett, Josh Downs, that smaller, shiftier receiver that we've seen kind of tear us up the last couple of weeks. But if he's the only guy, I don't know. I mean, they really don't have much else.
They got Trey McBride, who's kind of stepped in Zach Ertz's role and had a huge game last week.
Yep.
But with Dobbs, I think that's an improvement over Tune, you would think.
You would think. He started over him.
Correct. But I think it all just comes down to who their quarterback is. If you know what I mean. I think they have they're a little bit more explosive for sure if Kyler's the quarterback. But even then,
I'm still not that
should win this game. They're so banged up. I mean, I know we have injuries too, but my goodness, if we roll in there and we can't get it done, then we've been drinking our own Kool-Aid, and
Yeah.
we probably should chill out.
Yeah, no, that defense they got to show up and show out, man. Like they have to dominate that game. I don't care if the stats
Yes.
aren't there, but the lack of yards has to be, right? You got to sit those guys down when you tackle them, and the corners got to play tight. Thornhill can't have his off games. Like he's going to have to put up or shut up this game and tackle and just get the job done, man. Get them in 3rd and longs and make them hate their lives in Cleveland. Like just get after it, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I would love to be able to avoid our own like 2nd and longs on offense. I would really love to cut out the 1st and 10 runs for a yard or none or even negative. Like those just set you back so much on the drive.
Get Ford out of there then.
That's why I want to see Pierre Strong kind of take over that lead back
Yes.
role. But as far as the Browns injuries, what I saw today, David Bell is ruled out. So again, Tillman, Goodwin, these guys are going to be leaned on a little more because Bell's actually been playing quite a bit, it seems. DeJuan Jones was limited in practice all week, but he's questionable heading into the weekend, so he still could play. That who is this practice squad? Ty, man, I don't even know how to say his name. Neshke. He went to IR, the guy we brought up to back up Jones after Conklin got hurt.
Yeah.
Yep. So then we signed Leroy Watson from the 49ers practice squad onto our active roster. So, I mean, it could be James Hudson starting
It's going to be
there.
Yeah.
If DeJuan Jones can't go.
If Jones can't go, it's going to be Hudson.
Right.
I'd be shocked if they put
Leroy Watson. I think he came in to just be the depth piece there. But on the defensive side, Greg Newsome is ruled out, and Alex Wright is also ruled out.
I'm feeling good about Cam Mitchell. I mean, he had one bad play, but he seems like he knows what he's doing. He looked great in the preseason. We haven't seen him much this year. I mean, the only thing that you always worry about with these guys when they get moved up a piece, then what happens in the special teams, right? Does he get removed from that? Is he get more tired because he's running and playing? You know what I mean? Sometimes that's a thing to be concerned about. And then who would take Alex Wright's spot? Would be Isaiah McGuire, my guy.
Is he healthy? Because I thought. I could be wrong here. Maybe he's been a healthy scratch, so maybe he would be getting called up. I thought I saw him on the injury report, but I could be completely wrong here.
Who are you asking about?
McGuire.
Isaiah McGuire.
Well, let's take a gander here. You guys go ahead and chit-chat while I'm looking that up.
What do you guys want to chit-chat
about?
I'm sorry, that was a little weird.
The Cardinals, we just have to take care of business. Like the defense, basically, after we beat the 49ers, they came out pretty big and said they were pretty boastful about being number one, and now they haven't backed it up 2 weeks, really. They've been getting gashed. And when you're the number one defense, you put the run down against the other team. Like you sit those guys down, you don't let them have over 100 yards, and they haven't been doing that, and they've looked bad. Now, have they kept us in the games? Absolutely, But the Colts, let 38 points go, like yuck. And then they had like 2.5 good quarters against Seattle. If they would play that the whole game, then you'd be in the number one defense because you won that game. You know what I mean? And they just have to put up or shut up. And you want to be the number one defense, prove it this week and bury these guys.
As you should.
Yep. Well, I'm still looking
Well, don't even worry about it, Josh. The hell with it. We don't care. We'll figure it out on Sunday, man, when we're watching it live.
Yeah, man. Hey, I just want to see.
Actually, I don't think he's even. He's not even on the roster. So if you remember, I was just pulling this up. We cut him after, before the season started. After he had that knee injury in the preseason and he had surgery. So I'm not sure if he's back on the practice squad or not, but he's definitely not on the active roster.
Oh, my bad.
So
I was going to say, I thought I saw him as he was going to be out, but if he's not on the roster, that makes sense too.
I mean, it kind of just goes to show like this defense is just so loaded. I mean, it really is. We've got guys everywhere at all positions. We're deep, and there's, like you guys are saying, there's no reason we should not come out here and just do not let these guys hang around. The only game they won, they beat the Cowboys because I think the Cowboys, they just weren't mentally there. They thought, it's the Cardinals, I think we'll be okay. And they got beat. They gave the 49ers a little run. So, it's going to be a rookie quarterback. So it's going to be a little different situation than those two games. But, this team still has shown that they're not afraid to go out there and fight hard. They seem to like the coach. They seem to play hard for him. And I would just hate to be caught with our pants down at home, when we're trying to keep pace with the rest of the freaking AFC North. The Steelers can't get beat. It's like, come on. And, the Bengals, they've got what? The Bills this week, and the Ravens got the Seahawks. So, there's a good chance both those teams lose. So this would be a great week. We lost ground last week. You know what I mean? We had a close game. We could have won. It would have kept us right at, above some of these other teams. And now we're just keeping pace. Now it's time to get ahead. Hopefully a couple of those teams can lose. We can win, and just, got to keep stacking these wins. So we got some tough ones coming up against the Ravens and Steelers. Got to get this one.
Yeah, it's just stay healthy and stack wins, man, because the other teams, not everyone's going to stay healthy, right? And that's the key in winning a lot of the times, is how healthy your squad is.
Right. Yep.
How about some score predictions?
Ooh. Okay.
I'm gonna go 44-10, just like the good old days.
Attaboy.
Love it.
Attaboy. I like it, Kenny. Right. I'm gonna say 28-10 Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 6-3.
Wow, John. What a shootout.
He's calling for that rain. That's what he's doing.
No, I think I'd probably say maybe like 10 to 20. What'd you say, 21? I got to choose something different.
28-10. I said 28-10.
Oh, I'll say 24-10.
Nice. There you go.
Man, I want to say like another one of these like 20-3 games. Like we've seen the Browns do against the Bengals and the Titans. Maybe they get in field goal range, but I don't see on offense what they have that's going to score points against our defense. I really don't. As long as they show up. I don't see how they get those touchdowns unless our offense turns the ball over at the 10 or something stupid. You know what I mean? But I don't know. We should win this game. We should freaking win this game.
We should win it. This is when
Absolutely.
we just have to do what we have to execute.
Yeah.
We have to do our job.
It might be just a game where we got number 1 D. What do we have? Number 2 special teams, and our offense does enough, and let's get out. Stay healthy, like I said, and get ready for the Ravens, man, because they're going to be a full day.
I think that's a good. I'm glad you mentioned the special teams. We don't talk about Bubba Ventrone that much, which I guess is a good thing, because last year we were talking about Mike Prefer every week, which meant things were going bad. That his name was even getting brought up. So if we're not even mentioning our special teams, I guess that's good, because we're not dogging them. We're not complaining about how they're performing. They're just going out there and doing what they're supposed to do, which you can't really ask for much more.
And what do you guys see on special teams now? So DPJ is gone, right? So it opens up a spot. This is Jalen Darden. Now, you guys kind of had it, or I kind of reported that he was in a boot. So is it going to be the new signee? Is it Prochet? Ravens? Prochet? He's going to He's going to be the returner, or is it going to be Darden?
I don't know. How much? I didn't see if anybody got added to the active. Is Kenyon Drake added to the active roster?
Not that I've seen, but they still have till tomorrow, right?
I don't know if he returns or not.
Well, Elijah Moore returned last game. Last game, so I'd be all right with him returning as well. But let's just get somebody that knows what they're doing. So, maybe they start the game and Deshaun's got a little bit of rust. We got to play that field position game. Let's not screw things up and get ready for these other games that we have the field position in as well.
Yeah.
I agree. I know Strong has taken some kicks too, and I'd like to see him more in a RB1 kind of deal instead of returning kicks or punts.
Yep, 100%. I think before we wrap this up real quick, Ara has asked a couple times in the chat, and I think it's worth throwing in here. He says, "Can you guys just talk real quick about Rookie of the Year? Is DeJuan Jones in the running for offensive Rookie of the Year?"
I think he should be considered.
Okay.
He's not in the running that I've actually seen online. Like,
that's fair.
People are actually talking about. It's just such a boring kind of position, I guess. They always give it to, a quarterback or receiver or something like that, it seems. But man, he's doing way more than we thought he was going to come in and do. He's exceeded expectations, and I do think he deserves to be considered for it.
Yep, I'm with you, John. It's just not a very statistical position, that you can point to a lot of things and say, look at his numbers, and that just doesn't happen for offensive tackle. Honestly, the only numbers that people will point to are typically bad. Like, how many sacks did you give up? How many pressures did you give up? So, I mean,
he's got to get on TV, and he's got to do some Wyatt Teller pancakes, and they have to be spectacular. And then he's going to have to poster people, and that's how you get to be Rookie of the Year. Because, when's the last offensive tackle that got it? Was it Orlando Pace?
He would be the only
one that I could think of that might even had a chance as a rookie to get Rookie of the Year as a tackle.
And the way CJ Stroud's been playing in Houston, right now they're in the thick. Obviously it's still early in the season, but they're in the playoff mix right now, discussions. And, you got Puka Nacua. Of course, I guess if we're just doing offensive rookie just in the AFC, that wouldn't matter. But
I mentioned Jordan Addison, but I don't know what
that's NFC too.
Yeah. Okay.
As soon as I said Puka, I was like, wait, that wouldn't matter. I don't think
who are some names that you saw? Not to put you on the spot, did you still have any of those names pulled up?
Oh, dude, no. I looked this up a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I think Puka was one of them, though.
Are we talking about the whole NFL?
I thought they did it for the AFC and NFC, or do they not? I guess, honestly,
they do that for Player of the Week. I don't know if they do it for Player of the Year. I don't remember. I never watched the award show, honestly.
Maybe it is Player of the Year. Maybe Rookie is just. Either way, I just, DeJuan Jones is playing out of his mind. The Browns nailed that draft pick, but I don't think he wins Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
It's just not sexy. It's not a sexy position.
Not sexy.
Well, you guys remember when he was still available after we picked the third round pick, and everybody's just screaming for his name. Imagine if we would have missed out on that. Oh, man. Oh.
Yeah. They'd have been screaming anyway.
True.
Yeah, and what a luxury, because we picked him as a depth piece. We didn't pick him to come in and be like a guy to compete for. So Jack Conklin had it locked down. It wasn't like it was a question.
Yep.
And then right there, week one, we needed him, and oh my gosh, has he ever stepped up to the plate.
So I got a top 5. This is from yesterday.
Okay, thank you.
And it's going down from 5 to 1. It says Bijan Robinson, Jordan Addison, Samuel Laporta, Puka Nacua, and CJ Stroud.
Okay. Yeah.
One FC. That's it.
Yep.
Interesting.
I would love to see some of those other positions get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah. Well, maybe we get loud enough on social.
Maybe Cedric Tillman's going to go on an 8-game tear now.
There you go. I like that.
All right. Well, anything else you guys want to wrap up with for the game Sunday, or we got it all covered?
If you're in Cleveland at the game on Sunday, come on over to section 512 and hang out with your boy.
That's right.
Let's break bread. And by break bread, I mean let's have a tasty beverage together.
Yes, some liquid bread.
That's right. And let's go Browns.
Yeah, and if you guys are going to be in the West Coast guys is what I'm saying, and gals, I'm going to be in Vegas next weekend, and I'm going to be hanging out with the Vegas Browns backers. I think it's called Sports Life Bar, and I forgot to look it up before I got on here. But you can always hit up in the comments, and I'll tell you. But I'll be there partying for the Browns-Ravens game, so let's go Brownies.
That's right. And then for me and Blake, if you guys want to hang out with us during the game, it's in the Discord. So join thedogs.com, become a Dog Pack member. Jump in the Discord for this weekend. All you got to do is go sign up right now, jointhedogs.com, and then just do the free trial, 7-day free trial. But we'll get you in the Discord for this weekend so you can check it out, hang out with us during the game, see if you want to stick around for the rest of the season. We hope you do. If not, no harm, no foul. But come hang out with the Browns or with the Dogs for the Browns game. And, man, it's just a fun community. I mean, it's what it's grown into and continuing to grow into. It's unbelievable. We love it. We love everybody.
It's a wonderful place, and you get to see me dressed up in stupid Halloween costumes, which that should be worth the free trial on its own. Ron Burgundy / Air Marshal John or whatever the hell I was trying to do that day. I don't know, but what do you got,
love Ron
Johnny?
Burgundy, man. I love Ron Burgundy, my hero. As you can see, I have many leather-bound books. Oh, wrong side.
Oh,
Wrong side.
there you go. And cereal boxes. Love it. Johnny, you got anything exciting?
Do I ever? Go Browns, man. No, I really am pretty exhausted right now. So yay, go Browns.
All right. Well, with all those fine words said, we are going to get out of here. Everybody enjoy your Friday night. Thank you for hanging out with us. Go Browns on Sunday. We appreciate all of you for tuning in to another episode of the show.